This is Azerbaijan, an obscure Silk Road stop that used massive oil wealth to advance and change the geopolitical map by erasing an entire country from the map. My plan is to visit that region, but a broken government website denied my permit. Don't worry, I found another way. But first, I'm exploring Baku. It has stunning sights where locals are incredibly warm, but the driving is absolute chaos, and my very first interaction was a massive scam that completely tainted the trip. Join me on this wild time travel adventure to check out the city's sights, vibes, food, and its dark side. In full panic mode right now. I'm YoungMin. I solo travel to 127 countries, all while working a full-time office job by maximizing my vacations and points. And now I'm finally on YouTube to take you along for the journey. Welcome to the adventure.
Prepare for landing.
I flew in from Istanbul on my first time with Azerbaijan Airlines on their Marquis 787, which turned out to be a disappointing and tragic aviation experience that made me want to cry. First impressions of the country, they did it right. The airport is absolutely stunning. Picked up a SIM card. The plan for the trip is to drive 6 hours each way to go visit the former country of Artsakh. The vibes from this guy was off. I had an uneasy feeling throughout the trip, and in the end, it turns out I was right, as I'll be hit with a massive scam worth thousands. It was super weird. I had to make a deposit of 300 euros to be returned a month after I returned the car, but all three of my premium credit cards were declined, first time ever. So I had to split the transaction into 6 pieces. A month after returning the car, I will find that I will be charged $2,600, and when I dispute it, they will send fake government documents, submit copies of signed receipts from a different customer, and keep changing their story the next time they have to submit documents. I fought this for months and don't know how these guys are still in operation. I even contacted 6 different government departments and none of them replied. It doesn't matter what my experience is in a country, but if my first interaction in the country turns out to be a massive scam, that's all I'm gonna remember. But it turns out it was not just these guys who was trying to scam me, there were other bad apples along the way. So welcome to Azerbaijan, and here I go to hit the sights before sunset. Country number 128. Closest to the airport, it's symbolic that I start here, as this temple shows the history of the first peoples and the first religion on this land. Home to ancient Iranian peoples who worship fire, known as Zoroastrianism, and later in the 11th century, Muslim Seljuk Turks conquered the area. Until the fall of the Ottoman Empire, Turkey and Azerbaijan were split into 2 brother countries, with Azerbaijan being 95% majority Azeri Turks. This temple was destroyed in the Muslim conquest of Persia and in the 17th century later rebuilt by Hindu and Sikh merchants. And this explains that numerous ever-burning natural gas fires led fire-worshipping Zoroastrians to call Azerbaijan the land of fire. It's kind of creepy. The same room, you're milking mules. Alright, just finished my dinner. 10% tip, I think, that's added to the bill. In full panic mode right now. The whole purpose of visiting here was to go and try to visit Karabakh, the former country known as Artsakh. In 2023, Azerbaijan completed their conquest of the area and expelled every single last Armenian. They spent the last 2 years demining the area and erasing every trace of Armenian history, with Stepanakert being the last to open for permits, just 3 months prior to my trip. So I planned this entire journey to visit the region on my own driving a car, but the website had so many issues I reached out to everyone that I could before my trip. It's such a mess. But I took a gamble and came here, but when I arrived the website still didn't work and even locals tried to help me, but it all failed. Disappointed and dispirited, I completely switched up my plans and decided to stay an extra day in Baku and go for a less than ideal group tour. This is a big letdown for tourists. It's honestly kind of embarrassing. I didn't come all the way here, halfway across the world, not to go visit, so. Wow, so I'm at a loss for words. The staff, they caught wind that I was trying to go to Karabakh yesterday, so they offered to help. So they were on the line for 20 minutes calling. In the end, they couldn't find a solution. But I think it's a part of Azerbaijani hospitality as well as fervent wish for foreign tourists to go and visit the area. He mentioned that it was 33 years of suffering being occupied, and I tried to play mediator, saying that it's sad for both sides, but he said no, more for their people since it was their ancient homelands, and I'm not sure how historically accurate that is, but it seems it holds a pretty tender spot. Alright, we have our lunch, finally came out. National dish, plov, lamb leg, some salad, 50-cent bread, which is huge. All of this costs, I think, $15. So first stop today, the Heydar Aliyev Center, designed by world-renowned Zaha Hadid architect firm. This is an art gallery as well as a museum to the first leader of the country, the Aliyev Senior, the junior's in power now, Beautiful day, sun is out, absolute perfection. On the other side you have the Baku Convention Center. So last night's hotel was kind of rough. Lovely hotel, but the soundproofing was pretty horrible, so I could not sleep at all. So I had to move here. Looked pretty good in pictures, but yep, looks like I was deceived. This is very old, but at least the bathroom is recently remodeled. Total price, $42. This is not bad. Oh my goodness, look at this view. Wow, just wow. Heydar Mosque, if you didn't know, it's written on there. Don't like stairs? No problem. You got escalators. It's a modern mosque. It's the largest mosque in Azerbaijan. Commissioned in 2012 by the current leader Aliyev Jr. for the name of his father Aliyev Sr. It was finished in 2014. Beautiful, beautiful building. It says it's open, but too bad the doors are all closed, so I can't go inside. Our mortal enemy. Stairs. Made it to the best view in Baku. Got a gigantic flag over there. Stadium, the Baku Eye. Gorgeous building. There you have the famous circular building. And landmark here, the 3 flame towers, representing Baku being known as the land of fire. So I just got mobbed by a group of kids. I think they were here on a school trip from Baku, asking me where I'm from, making me flex my muscles, taking pictures. This is definitely going to be a memory. I am completely surprised, pleasantly shocked, just seeing the sheer development here. I can't imagine what it looked like just 30 years prior, but I think they fully honed in on their oil money. The fall of the Soviet Union was the best thing to happen for them to go fully dependent. Now they are basically 2 countries in one. You have Turkey on the west, Azerbaijan holding it down. I mean, you see it in the flag. It's just Turkey. Add in the blue and green. It's like double countries like Macedonia and Bulgaria, Albania and Kosovo, North and South Korea. So it's super shady here. I was told that parking was supposed to be by app, but I parked here and some guy, honestly, he looked very shabby, just came up to me pointing 2 fingers. So I thought that meant 2 manat. So I asked somebody and they said, yeah, he's deaf. It should be 2 manat. So when I gave him 5, he only gave me 2 back. So I told him, no, give me 3. He's like, oh, okay, he gave it to me. So that's still double what it should be at any other city center parking. Came into the old city and it's absolute chaos here. It's gridlocked, not moving at all. Google can't even pick it up. It doesn't show any sort of traffic jam. So I'm just stuck here. Make note, if you come here, it's just better to walk from the outskirt of the old center. But let's talk about driving in Baku. I will just say in one word, chaotic. Drivers are selfish, aggressive, no manners. I think there was one guy who yielded to me the whole time. It's just a free-for-all, and that's why the police are here. Every post I read about driving here mentioned about rampant police, and that's true. Everywhere I look, there's some driver being pulled over, getting a ticket, but I think they're absolutely necessary because otherwise it would just be all-out chaos in a third world country. So I think police are actually holding some order in the area, but it's just tough driving here. It's super interesting. You see brand new Lamborghinis, Benzes, even the police cars were all white, brand new BMW 3 and 5 series. Google does work here, following your location, but it sometimes leads you into a no-turn zone. So if you blindly follow it, you might crash into an outcoming car. But I heard from the rental car guy that Waze is the way to go, especially if you're trying to look out for police. And he also told me if police pull you over, it's a 100% ticket. Things like stopping at a red light but stepping over the line, go to jail. Going 10 kilometers above the speed limit, automatic speed ticket. I'm not sure about Uber, but it seems Bolt is the way to go here. It's still not as bad as the worst place that I've driven, which is Lebanon, but people still don't have any regards for driving here. Just cross over the line, no turn signals, cut you off, yell at you, honk incessantly, and then I have to show them my face that, hey, I'm a tourist, like, go easy on me. So that was chaotic. I was able to find an underground parking structure that's like 1 manat per hour. I'm about to turn on my Bolt. It's a day pass. $2 for 30 minutes of riding. I think that is an absolute steal. First stop on my scooter tour, I felt a lot of eyes around me so I didn't film, but Azerbaijan widely prides itself in religious tolerance. Here in the center of the bustling square of the old city is a state-protected symbol of religious tolerance, but just an empty shell. Built in 1869, it was the heart of the Armenian community in Baku, but after the First Armenia-Azerbaijan War, the church was looted, abandoned, the cross removed, used as a library archive, and remains a stark reminder of the horrors of war and ethnic violence. You know who runs these streets? The king of the circuit, King Checo. We've entered into the old city center and it is magnificent in here. I feel like you're going back in time, the time of the Ottomans. I just love everything about the Silk Road. Visited many countries along the way. Baku was a flourishing hub during the time, and I could see all the action that could have happened a long time ago. Walking in the old city right now, go through all the alleyways. It's absolutely silent. I know people do live here. You hear the street noise and the honking in the far off distance, but here in the city, in the center, you don't really hear much. You actually hear pigeons flying. This is the Shirvan Shah's Palace, a UNESCO site. Absolutely breathtaking views of the city from up there. I didn't get a ticket. It's about $9, but these views are good enough for me. The sun is setting, the street lights are turning on. It's a completely different vibe. You have a pink sunset in the sky. Doesn't get any better than this, unless you get scammed. Night has fallen. Absolutely different vibe. Streetlight games on point. So we're at the water walk on a Sunday. Everybody and your grandma is out and about. You got the flame towers over there. They were showing the flag colors. What a flex. It's just tranquil. You don't see any scammers, no ill-intentioned people, just everyone just having a good time. This is a great date spot and I am on a date by myself. There you have it. 3 hours later, I'm back. That only took $2, but probably saved me 6 hours of walking. There's nothing that beats these scooters. So time for dinner. I put on my filters and the only thing that came up was a Georgian restaurant nearby, and I was curious to see if maybe there's any Armenian restaurant. 0. So I even asked Google AI and it said there are 0 operating authentic Armenian restaurants. It's sad, you have beef with one, totally cool with the other. So just finished dinner. Heading back to the hotel, I was trying to post stories about the presidential second plane. I don't know what sort of crazy stuff is happening. And also a photo of my old friends that I met earlier in the day. It kept getting blocked. Whatever I did, it would not post. There's heavy censorship and I got to experience it firsthand. So starting my day at 7 a.m. for a 16-hour group tour to visit Artsakh, to rush back and head to the airport where I begin my journey back home. It'll have been 48 hours before I see another bed, which I've done before, but the grueling group tour and the following disappointing Turkish Airlines experience made it the single hardest travel day for me. So this is quite interesting. I get to the check-in line, a lot of people, and there's a separate line for bag drop. So, as I normally do, I go up and I find there's actually a check-in kiosk right in front of the check-in desk. So I go up and use it and it's broken. So then right in front of me is a check-in agent who's not paying attention, not looking at anyone. He's just looking at his coworker's computer. So I told him, hey, can I please just print my boarding pass, please? Because I only got a carry-on. And he said, no, go stand in the regular line. I've always been able to print my boarding pass when I do speak to an agent. It takes 5 seconds, but this guy just simply said no reasoning. And then I find behind are these machines where you can select your seats, print your boarding pass and all of that. But when I print it, what comes out? Blank cards. So then I go to another machine to try and print it and it says it's already been printed, so I have to go to the check-in desk. I was told by airport staff no video. I don't understand why. You built this great airport, aren't you supposed to show it off to the world? So I'm at the Premium Bank Lounge here in Terminal 1, Priority Pass Lounge, no showers. It is tiny. This is it. Overall, this trip was eye-opening. A lot of highs and a lot of lows. Definitely unforgettable. Thanks for watching. I'm just starting to record my adventures on YouTube, so subscribe and stay tuned for lots more.